So John, we believe you're doing a walk this weekend, a trek and a half from what I can gather. If you could just explain a bit more about it, please.
Yeah, obviously I've done the Lincoln to Bradford and Bradford to Lincoln again, but being the 30th anniversary, I think it's time to do another walk. My last one that I'm going to do. So we're actually walking from Sinsel Bank to Valley Parade on this Friday, and to get back in time for the Barnsley game, where we're meeting up with some Barnsley fans because they're doing a walk as well, 50 of them. We're meeting at Tong School on Tong Street, I do believe it is, and we're all walking the last 5 miles together, so it's like football united as well, reunited together as well. And
the Lincoln, obviously, venue, that's obviously been chosen, for a particular reason as well.
Oh yeah, because obviously we played Lincoln the day, the tragedy, and we'll have his photographs taken because they're getting the press down there for us. We'll have photographs taken, the Stacey and West stand, because they're the two people who perished in the fire, or Stacey and West. So then we're starting from their dugout and we're walking to our dugout at Valley Parade the next day. So yeah.
And as you touched on, obviously it's not the first time you've done this walk. Obviously you've put yourself through it a couple of times before as well.
Yeah. A couple of years ago I walked from Bradford to Lincoln, and then a year later I reversed it, and I think I'm quite foolish, to be honest. But there's a lot of people doubting me, but I know in my own mind that it will be done. I've got a small group of people walking with me, so it was going to support me through the night and everything. So they don't have to walk the whole limit, but every person helps me, so there's not a problem.
Yes, I suppose it's all the more credit to yourself. In fact, you've done it twice before. You know how hard it is to get through the day and the night, and to do it again for these good causes. I suppose it's all the more credit for you.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, people sell hats, to sell badges, to sell scarves and everything. You know what I mean? But I like a challenge. I mean, they do a great job doing stuff like that, raising money that way, and I like a challenge myself, and I like to put myself through a bit of a pain barrier, that's what I'm going to do, unfortunately.
Does that experience help though? As I said, you've done it a couple of times before. The mental side of things, you'll be able to go back to them times and you remember them hard times, and it'll make it a bit easier for you to get through when perhaps you are struggling.
Yeah, I think it can be the flip side as well, because I know when the hard parts are going to happen. So I know we've got 11.5 mile stretch of road that I'm going to walk down with no lights on at 1 o'clock in the morning till about 4 o'clock in the morning. So that's when you don't think you're talking about the wall, and I think that's when I hit it, and that's when I need more support. So I know when the bad parts are. I know where the McDonald's is in Doncaster. So yeah, I know the bad parts, but I know the easier parts as well. So yeah, it works both ways, I think, Mark.
And obviously you work for the club, you're a lifelong supporter of the club. Though, as we touched on over the 30th anniversary of that tragic day, 11th of May 1985, you know how much this all means to the club, and exactly, I suppose, why you put yourself forward for this challenge.
Yeah, it was a sad day, or a black day, and it's, I don't know, I mean, the club will always remembered for it, and to me it's remembered for the wrong reason, a tragedy. I mean, we should remember it for the triumphs, but we always come back to this. No matter whether it's the 30th anniversary, the first anniversary, it should be celebrated the same way every time, and I will always raise money for them on that day.
And so obviously that crucially is what it's all about. Obviously you're doing this to raise funds, for the Burns Unit, and hoping that obviously supporters and friends and family from the wider audience can get involved and hopefully donate what they can.
Yeah, we've got to just give me something which you've got the details of. They just have to go and to just giving John Duckworth Lincoln to Bradford Walk 2015, or they can do it by telephone by just texting BANT, which is all higher case, BANT 56, and just text the amount and just do it to 770. But yeah, I mean, I'm very humble of anybody who gives £1, let alone £100, you know what I mean, because I just do the walking. I've got a team behind me who does the organising for me, so I just walk it, and the people who give money, I'm very humble of them, and I'm very grateful for it.
And I suppose that is the key thing to stress. It is very important to, no matter what people can donate, it does mean a lot to you, obviously, as you're putting yourself through this. I suppose every £1 that you see adding on will give you that boost as well, and you're doing something from a really good cause. Yeah, I mean, it spurs you on. I mean, the more you get, I suppose, it spurs you on even more. But somebody says to me, what if you only raise £10? If I raise £10, I'll walk 73 miles because somebody's donated £10. So yeah, but the more you see it going up,
it spurs you on more, and it just proves how generous people are and how they remember these things.
And obviously, last home game of the season, it's always a time to reflect, I suppose, obviously on what happened, nearly 30 years ago now. But when you walk into the ground, you finally finished it on the Saturday just before the game. I suppose that's an emotional occasion.
Yeah, it is. I do believe we're doing a lap of appreciation with the 50 bands, I suppose, that are coming round. So that's when it is emotional then, and then obviously with the minutes applause or minute silence, whichever we have on that day. I'm always sad on that day, to be honest. So it always affects me.
And as you touched on, obviously going with the Barnsley fans as well, they're doing it as well. It kind of sums up the Football United at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of people, a lot of organisations getting involved in wanting to show their respects to what happened 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. It's like they had bucket collections. I do believe at the FA Cup semi-finals. I know Leeds and Huddersfield done things, and Lincoln actually had a collection. I do believe this weekend at their home game. I saw it on Twitter, social media. So yeah, and the fans always give money, and rightly, I don't know if it's rightly so, but they always give money, and they give what they can, which I appreciate, and I suppose, and I take it the research unit appreciate as well. Because if it wasn't for them, there'd be no Burns research unit.